Hello and welcome to the third RLIGOLF podcast of 2018. You're listening to PGA professionals Jordan Cook and Ryan Ingram. If you tuned in last week, you'll already know that we will be releasing one podcast per week talking about everything from swing tips to random day-to-day activities. In this week's episode, we're going to discuss course management and some strategies you can use next time you're out on the course to help improve your game. So let's get started. So to start off with, Ryan's going to explain to everybody listening how he prepares for a round of golf and what's going through his mind.
Hi guys. So the best way for me to prepare for a tournament is ideally to play a practice round. Hopefully the course is local to you. If not, and it's a big tournament, then all professionals generally would go to the place that they're playing and get some visual images of the golf course, plot the way around, find out where the best places to miss and where you want to be on the golf course, so you give your best chance and line into the green so you can give yourself the best chance for birdie, ideally. If not, we'll hopefully make the par and walk off and go to the next hole. But yeah, playing the golf course, ideally. Don't you agree, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, well, you look at the tour pros, they're obviously, because they have the luxury of being able to just rock up at an event on the Monday before they play on the Thursday and have 3 days practice, whether it be on the range, but they'll play, I would imagine, a couple of
they generally
rounds.
Play 9 holes, don't they, with a few of the guys, and some play the whole 18, but they could go out on the Monday for 9 holes, then Tuesday they play the opposite 9, and just plot the way around, and it doesn't, just off the tee, but on the putting green as well, where do they want to give themselves the best opportunity to make that birdie from?
If anybody's been to watch any practice rounds, whether it be the British Masters, the Open, you name it, you'll see the pros going around and they'll be putting to different spots on the green. There might not necessarily be a hole cut there, but they will be putting to those spots where they think a pin position might be on a certain day, just to familiarise themselves with the course.
With how that putt's going to roll as well. Yeah. What the speeds are like on the greens. Every given day is different, but they're going to get an idea of if it's faster or it's slower around that area of the green, uphill, downhill.
Yeah, but that's a luxury that the pros have, like I just said. If you can't make it to wherever the tournament's being held, your best option, in my opinion, is to just go online, have a look at some of the images that the golf course provide, whether it be because most of them, we got a drone and you flew it into a tree. Yeah. Most courses have professionally.
Just getting used to
it. Most courses have flyovers of each hole, and they might even do a little snippet of the head pro saying where the best place is to hit it on that hole. Or
hints and tips from the pro of the local golf club. Beneficial, known places to kind of miss, where you want to be on each hole. Good way of starting your preparation and getting the best chance possible for the lowest score.
You can also go onto Google Maps and get images of the holes, and that would give you almost like a yardage chart kind of feel about it, so you could then start and break it down, maybe get a scorecard as well and break it down into what holes are the hardest, what holes are the easiest, what holes you're going to get your shots on. And then you can, once you've done that, you can then break each hole down individually and decide, so you're not just willy-nilly choosing on the day what club you're going to be hitting off which tee. It might be a good idea to phone up the golf club and ask which way the normal prevailing wind is, if it's going to be with you on the first or against you, and then you can again use that to see what club you're going to be using on off the tees. Obviously, par threes are different. Sometimes the tees might be a bit further back on normal tee boxes as well, but I think that will give you a general idea of knowing, having that certainty in your mind that, right, I've definitely checked this online. I've asked where the prevailing wind is. I know that this is going to be a 3-wood or a rescue off the first, not a driver.
Yeah, totally agree, Jordan. So when you've hit your golf ball off the tee, you've chosen your golf club that you're going to have on that day. Maybe, like Jordan said, it might change, but what you're trying to do is plot your way around off the tee box where you're going to miss the bunkers, the lakes, giving yourself your best chance of hitting that green with the second shot, or playing your shots that you've got with your handicap and taking the bunkers out of play, taking all the hazards out of play, and giving yourself your chance to make that handicap par and save as much shots as you can and not stupidly just hit golf balls
Absolutely.
in hazards.
If you've got a short par 4 and you might think you can get to the green some people might want to take it on, but say if you can reach, but you're not the best chipper of the around the greens, then why bother hitting a driver that's going to leave you a chip shot for your next shot? Why not play a 4-iron off the tee and leave yourself 100 yards where you're going to have a full wedge, 9-iron, whatever it may be? If you can't hit a half shot, if you can't hit a chip, then why choose a club off the tee that's going to leave you with that shot for your next one?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't go with just amateurs as well. The PGA professionals on tour don't like that 60 and under yardage. They rather leave themselves 60 and above, just so they can control that golf ball a little bit more. Generally, that's the area that they're going to
pick up the shots,
and try to get a bit more control over the golf ball, getting close to that flag and leaving themselves that kind of birdie chance.
This kind of leads me onto the next point, which would be all of this information is almost irrelevant if you guys listening don't know how far you hit your irons or hit your rescues or whatever you're hitting in for your approach shot. Because yes, it might be all well and good saying, I hit my driver to here and then I'm going to leave myself in 160 yards. If you don't know what club you actually hit 160 yards and you're just coming up short or going long every time, you're not giving yourself any advantage over the rest of the field. So the point is, go out, get your yardages done, go pay whatever it is with your PGA Pros or go to a indoor facility and get your yardages done on a simulator, and you'll be well on your way to shooting better scores.
So once you've got your yardages done, we'll look at the approaching the green in a slightly different way with a bit more of a strategic plan and a way we can hit more greens in regulation so we can lower our scores. On average, for the middle range handicap player, it takes them 2.8 shots to get up and down from around the green. So if we hit a green, it takes the average player 2.2 shots to get into the hole.
So there's a 0.6 difference between
0.6 difference,
green.
From missing the green to being on the green. So if you times that by 18 holes,
it's 10.8. Quick maths.
Quick maths there from Jordan. Didn't have his calculator in his hand, but 10.8 shots less that we can shoot over 18 holes. So that 18 handicap player, for example, is now off single figures.
But that's providing that you hit every green, which is probably it is unlikely. But if you are going to hit more greens, you're going to generally save yourself 0.6 of a shot on every hole.
Yeah. So how can we hit more greens? That's the question that you would like answering.
But once people have got their yardages done, it ultimately will make them a more confident iron player. Or it should do anyway, because you know that, right, okay, say if I have 150 yards, I now know which club I am going to be hitting on this hole for definite because I've had my yardages done. So that should bring about a bit more confidence there.
Yeah, exactly. And on that basis, the average player, let's go for that 18 handicap player.
Yeah.
We'll kind of talk about that.
Yeah.
That average golfer in the golf club only flushes their shots 10% of the time.
Yeah.
So if you take that 90% into consideration, generally they're going to catch it heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, thin shots. It's all going to carry a shorter distance.
Yeah. So
when we're looking at hitting the green, we want to look at hitting the back of the green.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is going to give that average player that better chance to hit.
Yeah.
That green more often.
Because they're only going to strike it 10% of the time. You need to kind of account for that. You need to play to your strengths or play to your weaknesses. And if we can play to, say, if you know that is your weakness, if you do tend to catch them heavy, then you should be trying to take maybe an extra club up, play for the back of the green, add 10 yards on to whatever, say if your friend or you have zapped the flag with a Bushnell or got a yardage watch or whatever, play to the back of the green and you'll probably find yourself coming up and hitting more greens and leaving yourself a better chance at birdie, par, bogey, whatever it is.
Yeah, so for example, if you were to have a yardage to the back of the green was 160 yards and you flushed your 6-iron, you know that maximum distance for that club is 160 yards.
Yeah.
Whereas if you caught that slightly heavy, slightly thin shot, you know it's going to become short of that distance.
Yeah.
But we've now got that difference
between the front and the back of the green.
Between the front and the back of the green, exactly. And we can allow 20, 30 yards sometimes, depending on the size of the greens.
And if you
we can give ourselves more of a chance of hitting the green.
If you do catch it heavy, it might even roll up as well. It might travel a bit further along the floor. It might roll up maybe front of the green, say to the kind of front middle part of the green. So you're more than likely going to give yourself a putt 9 times out of 10.
Well, a better chance of 2.2 shots, like the research has been shown, rather than that 2.8 of being off the green. Exactly. You're giving yourself that better chance of lowering your scores, and not only obviously rolling up to the front of the green, but you're taking that 20, 30 yard pitch shot onto the green, over the bunker, to being in the bunker. I know sometimes that's not a great thing for amateur golfers to be in the bunker, but
if you ask most people, I think they'd rather play out of a bunker than over a bunker. You know what I mean? So if you've got a 30 yard shot and you've got to hit a high flop shot over the bunker,
exactly.
You kind of would. Most people would say, I'd rather be in the bunker. So
you're going to give yourself that better chance to get onto the green, and in less shots. Again, the average golfer will probably chunk that 20, 30 yard shot. Hasn't got very much good distance control with the pitch shots, and
it's a tough shot play. So
even for the pros, like I said earlier, they'd rather be that 60 plus yardage out from the green so that they can gain more control. So it's not just you guys that are suffering at that yardage.
Yeah, so I touched briefly on playing to your strengths, playing to your weaknesses. Now we know where yardage is. If you know your shot shape and you kind of a drawer of the ball, so the ball's starting right and it normally finishes on your target line, but you're prone to maybe overdrawing it and hitting a hook, you might want to start and think, you definitely want to start and think aiming at the right hand side of the green and almost playing for that draw, and accepting that if you do hit a bad one, rather than missing the green left, leaving yourself with an awkward chip, as I said before, you're going to be catching the left-hand side of the green. If it hits the green, it's probably going to stop, whether it's on the green or on the fringe, giving you a chance again at a putt, saving yourself that 0.6 of a shot.
Yeah, it's a must, and I use a traffic light system for this, and you give yourself that amber, green and red zone. Yeah, where green, yes, it's that big area, that big space that is nowhere near that flag, so we're not being pin seekers, but we're giving ourselves that best chance of hitting the green, the large area. Then we can kind of go amber, and we go, okay, it's closer to the flag, but it's a shorter space to land that golf ball. And then we've got the red zone, which is kind of pin seeker. We've got water left, very close to the left-hand side. So that draw of the golf ball that Jordan was just saying there could be that green zone, that amber zone, but if they overdraw it or hook it, it's going to end up landing in that green zone.
Exactly,
the red zone, where we ideally don't want to go for, but it's right next to the flag.
Exactly. So, and that's obviously the same if you're a slicer of the ball, just the opposite way around to what we've just said.
So I hope that's helped you and given you something to think about the next time you're on the golf course. There's some things there that you can take straight onto the golf course and hopefully perform better with lower scores. And it's without kind of thinking about your swing too much, without improving your swing, a better frame of mind, educating yourself of how to plot your way around the golf course can lower your scores. With the example earlier, it could be as 10 shots off your score.
With just a tiny bit of preparation, you know what I mean? Everybody's got iPhones, everybody's got laptops these days. It takes 5 minutes to just have a quick flick through of the course, just to give yourself a rough idea, so you're not fumbling on wondering what like club to hit off which tee and what shot to hit into which hole. So I think we'll wrap things up for today, and thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, thank you, and we'll look forward to doing the next podcast next week. So stay tuned, hit the subscribe button, follow us on social media platforms, and enjoy your week. Thanks again. Bye for now.